Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Cool.
very good.
Thank you.
Morning, everybody. Oh, afternoon.
Morning.
Okay, so before we start, I'm just would like to say that I have written a message in the chat. So if you have any questions during the presentation, you can write it immediately there, and we'll try to answer that at the end.
Perfect.
So is Katarina here? Katarina, we are expecting more than 50 participants or so.
Yes, I'm here with Radovan. We have something like 55 applications. So can we wait?
Yeah. That's why
2-3 more minutes
we
for people to join, please.
We'll wait for more people because.
In any case, you are going to record the
From my
webinar,
side.
right?
Yes,
Okay.
we are.
It is being
Will be-
recorded already. Yeah.
Okay.
Just a quick question. You can see my PowerPoint, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Good. Okay.
Yes, we can.
There's 24 people right now.
So let's wait for let's say like 2 or 3 minutes because we are on the halfway there. We have more than 50 people registered. So let's wait 2 minutes. 27. Okay, I think we can start. So I would like to welcome here General Manager Inma. So welcome on this. And my name is Peter Dubka. For those who don't recognize me yet, I am a work package 4 coordinator, and me and my team, we were responsible for, we still are responsible for delivering the Ulysseus Seed Research and Innovation Seed Funding Programme. So today I'm really pleased to open the second call for proposal for research and innovation groups within the Ulysseus European Alliance. And after quite successful first call, we supported more than 40 research groups. There were some resources remaining for the second call. The resources are quite limited for the second call, so that's why the call is more or less focused on enlargement of existing or support of enlargement of existing research and innovation groups. So based on the inputs from representatives from all of your universities, so the people who were co-creating this second call with us, we would try to prepare the call proposal or the call conditions that would suit the most for you as the researchers at our alliance. So I hope that we have succeeded and that you will be able to continue with building your research networks and strengthening the research within our Ulysseus Alliance. So based on this, I would like to hand over the word to Rado, he's still responsible for this technical and administrative processes, and he will guide you through the important details of this call. But before I will do it, Inma, would you like to say something to the researchers?
Well, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this webinar on the Ulysseus Seed Funding Programme for Research and Innovation Groups. Thank you, Peter. I wanted to join you in welcoming all researchers across the Alliance. As you know, Ulysseus is a vibrant European university community that brings together knowledge peoples across borders. I wanted to join you, as I said, and welcome researchers from across the Alliance. And I wanted to acknowledge that the seed funding call is a unique opportunity to strengthen networks, collaboration, and encourage joint projects within Ulysseus. But before closing my intervention, I also wanted to acknowledge and to thank the entire TUCE team for the excellent work in organizing and coordinating and leading this initiative. I encourage all researchers to make the most of this initiative to connect with colleagues, exchange ideas, and explore future collaboration within the Alliance. Because when you researchers come together, new ideas can become real opportunities for change. So thank you all for joining us, and I hope you find this webinar as useful and inspiring as always. So thank you very much. And Rado, it's your turn.
Thank you, Inma. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your warm words. Okay, so my input is going to be more practical and probably more straightforward. So welcome everyone here. Hopefully those of you who want to join the seed funding program in the second call. I would like to welcome all the existing members of the groups and also the new potential members of some new groups inside the Ulysseus Research and Innovation Groups. So today I'm going to talk about the second call of this program, which is a little bit different from the first one. So those of you who had taken part in the first one, there are some changes if you want to join also the second one. Let's try to. Okay, just a quick check. Did the slide change also in your screen? Good, cool, great.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to talk basically about the seed funding objective and the target groups. So for whom is this seed funding intended? What kind of research and innovation groups are being supported right now in the second call? And what you can do inside the second call, and what types of activities are supported within the seed funding. So what is eligible and what not. Some key points and conditions, so what has to be met to be eligible and how to apply for the seed funding in the second call. I'm going to talk in the process of application, and then I'm probably going to answer many of your questions. I see the time is right now 13:08, so 1 p.m. I have planned my presentation for around 45 minutes plus minus, depending on how many questions are going to be in the middle. Please, if you have any questions, try to reserve them at the end of the presentation. We'll get back to them at the end. Maybe they are going to be answered during the presentation. Okay, so what is the main objective of the second call of the seed funding, and who is the target group? So in this second call, compared to the first one, we are enabling creation of a new research and innovation groups inside Ulysseus, but also to expand the existing groups which have been founded in the first call. So the target group of this call are Ulysseus Research and Innovation Group members, and also researchers from Ulysseus partner universities, all those who have some kind of administratively eligible connection to the universities to be able to use the seed funding funds. Also, we are welcoming members of associated and strategic partners right now to this alliance. Unfortunately, they can't be beneficiaries, but they are a main and very welcome support in these groups, and also stakeholders from private and public sectors you usually work with. Again, these are not these members cannot be beneficiaries from the seed funding, but they do play a really crucial role. So who can actually benefit from the financial support in this call is the researchers who have administratively an administrative contract with the universities who are members of the Ulysseus, so researchers from partner universities that can receive funding. Okay, so I mentioned that there are two ways how to utilize the call number 2, and that is create a new group or extend an existing group. So what do we understand right now in the second call as a new group, and what conditions are to be met to form a group and to receive the funding? So I will start first with the topic. So we have decided that to foster the innovation hubs inside the Ulysseus, the main topics of the newly created groups that will be funded in the call number 2 of the seed funding will be in the interdisciplinary research and innovation groups around the Ulysseus Innovation Hub topics only. That means that topics that are related to the innovation hubs are going to be eligible in the second call. What are the conditions? If you are going to create a new group, I have labeled it as N1 because there are so many options in the second call. So the N1 means a new group to be established. What you need to do. So what are the conditions? You have to find at least 3 researchers that are willing to join your group from at least 2 different partner universities, and you have to involve also 1 associated partner or stakeholder or strategic partner of the Ulysseus. There is a list of associated partners who are members of the alliance, and if you have an associated partner or a stakeholder that is outside of that list, don't be afraid, just contact your Innovation Hub officer discuss with it and add that partner onto the list, and you are eligible also in that condition. What it is with the strategic partners, we have 2 strategic partners right now in the Ulysseus, and that's 2 universities, Mexico and Vietnam, the Da Nang University and a complicated name of the Mexican university, I don't know yet. I don't know now. Okay, what it goes for the stakeholders, same as for the associated partners. So try to get in contact with your Innovation Hub officer to get them on the list, and you are there. Okay, now when you are a researcher and have a binding contract with your university, you should, no, you have to, not you should, register in a Ulysseus Open Science repository. Those of you who have taken part in the first call, you remember that we had the Ulysseus experts database, which is now transferred to a new place, and it's called right now Ulysseus Open Science Repository. All the existing members and experts that have been in the old repository or have been moved to the new one. It looks a little bit different, and there are some different features. I'm going to show you how it looks now, but the same condition is applied also in the second call, and that is each academic group member has to register him or herself onto that Ulysseus Open Science repository before submitting the application form of a new group. Unfortunately, right now, the associated partners or stakeholders or partners outside the Ulysseus Alliance can't directly create registration accounts on that Ulysseus Open Science repository, but you have to write that in the application form that you have added as stakeholder. And we're going to check on it individually. You have to decide on one lead applicant who is going to be submitting the application, and he's going to be the one contact person for us. Just as a note, researchers, experts, innovators from other institutions are really welcome to join the Ulysseus Research and Innovation groups, but not as beneficiaries. That is also for members from Hagahelia and Unige due to budget restrictions. That's something that I'm going to talk about later, but right now these 2 universities have spent their budgets on the seed funding, and they have decided not to provide additional funding. So if you plan to start a new group, you can refer to the document, which is Ulysseus Seed Funding Programme for Joint Research and Innovation Groups. You're going to be given this presentation, and there is a direct link to that program. So if you have any additional questions before you ask them, you can look that up in the document. It's quite easy and understandable. Okay, if you would like to open the question, which are the Innovation Hub topics? I just took the screenshot of the Ulysseus webpage, where you can find these 9 topics, which is the aging and well-being, applied artificial intelligence for business and education, cybersecurity, digital transformation of industry, robotics, social, economical sustainability, sustainable energy, transport, mobility for smart cities, sustainable entrepreneurship and impact, tourism and heritage. So these are the main Innovation Hub topics, and your newly created group should be inside one of these topics to be eligible. So that was for the option number 1, meaning that you are a new researcher or a group researchers and you want to start a new Ulysseus Research and Innovation group. In the other option is inside the second call is the expansion option. So that means if you have participated in the call number 1, you have established a group, your group is working, and you are you would like to get more partners on board, or probably more researchers on board, or you probably would like to add associated partners or something like that, then the expansion should be the option you should pick. So what is understood by the expansion? So expansion is dedicated for existing Ulysseus Research and Innovation groups which would like to expand by several options. I'm going to show you 5 options how you can expand the group. It's quite a lot because we've been like brainstorming what options you can have if you would like to expand your group. So I'm going to talk about the option and who is going to decide about the expansion. So the first option is that your existing group would like to add a new researcher that is coming from a completely new, different partner university, at least from one, which you are going to describe in the application form. What is the benefit of him or her being a part of your group? And this is the first option. So you are expanding not only the number of your researchers, but you are also expanding the number of partners inside of your group. In that case, the new partner or researchers, probably if there's going to be more of them, have to register in science.ulysseus.eu, which is the new open science repository. And the local selection committee of that particular university, the new joining particular university, is going to make the decisions about the new researcher and also about the budget that is going to be allocated to your new group. Unfortunately, the original group's budgets won't change from that expansion. The expansion is only for the added members, added partners, added researchers only. That's the one of the limitations of the second goal. Second option is, okay, you would like to have a new researcher from at least one existing group partner university, so a university that is already a member of your group, but you would like to add a new laboratory because now you are collaborating probably with, an example, with econs, and you would like to get on board somebody from the AI, which is an IT or a different lab or something like that. This is the way you could also apply. So you are going to take their researchers inside of your group because maybe you would like to write a proposal and so on. The process is the same. So you're going to add this researcher, and he or she has to register also through the science.ulysseus.eu and be added in your group. And the decision who is going to make the decision is going to be the local selection committee of that existing group partner university whose researcher you are going to add. So, for example, if a group from consisting from TUCE and from University of Sevilla is going to add another researcher from another laboratory inside of TUCE, then the local selection committee of TUCE is going to make the decision about if that new added researcher has a substantial added value and should be funded or granted or not. Option number 3 is you can also extend your group by adding a new Ulysseus associated partner to the group, also with the description of his or her or the institution added value, and then the decision is going to be made by the lead applicant's partner university local selection committee. So the lead applicant is the one who sort of like a manager of the group, so their local selection committee should consider if the associate partner is an added value to the group and if that kind of expansion should be accepted or not. I'm not writing that the associated partner should be registered inside the science.ulysseus.eu because right now that functionality is not available yet. Fourth, but not last option, is adding at least one new Ulysseus strategic partner to the group. You have two options, the Da Nang in Mexico. Same process is going to apply. So again, the lead applicant's partner university local selection committee is going to make the decision. And of course, the fifth option is a combination of the previous options. Pick whatever you like and put it together. And in that case, the relevant procedures is going to be applied. So the rule is the local selection committees of the addressed or involved partner universities are going to be then making the decision about that kind of expansion. So this is like, let's say, rules that could be followed, and what's not in the rules, you can figure that out. Okay, what about the activities that are going to be supported by the seed funding? There were many questions regarding the activities that if we can extend that list and if some other activities can be founded Unfortunately, our hands are bound with the general agreement, or I don't know what's the document called inside the Ulysseus, where they've been written the rules for the seed funding, and we can't actually cross that. Also, after the report, it's been said specifically what can be funded, and several times it was aimed to check whether we are funding eligible activities and so on. So what are eligible activities? So every activity that is supported within this call should be aimed to enable in-person meetings, to collaborate with the researchers, to establish the research and innovation group, or to expand, define member roles, objectives of your research, exchange experiences, knowledge. So the activities are targeted towards traveling expenses, so you can travel, pay accommodation, subsistence, or everything that is connected with the meetings, so with the seminars, workshops, or meetings in general. So I have highlighted venue costs like room rental, setups, arrangements, fees, materials, anything that you need to print, some workshop supplies, and so on, and catering, so you need some refreshments, coffee breaks, and so on. If there are any requests from other costs that should be included in that part, we have to consult those with the European Commission project officer through the Ulysseus general manager. But again, as I mentioned in the first call, it's a long process. And if you have such claims, try to approach us as soon as possible. But we did that in the last call, and we've been rejected with the same stuff. So I have prepared a list what is exactly ineligible cost in the seed funding. So you can't spend the funds on overheads, no staff costs, no equipment costs. You can't pay conference fees, but you can travel there if you make a workshop there with your group. Third-party services like consultation companies, or proposal writing costs and costs of such associated activities, including like language corrections or translations. Okay. The most interesting part is the budget. The process stays the same, so the budget, about the budget is going to be decided at the level of local selection committees. That means that about researchers is the local university selection committee going to make their decision, and about the budgets also. So if they have the funds, they can decide freely about the funds allocation or not. So the local selection committee will propose the funds that are available for each application according to the internal strategy. Because the money is not like, oh, the budget is very limited, we do not have any advice about the sum, so it's completely left to the local selection committees. They know how much funds they can spend and allocate. So just to make sure that you are eligible for the funds, so make sure that every researcher is registered in the Ulysseus Open Science Repository as mentioned, and that all the conditions that are for the N1 through E1 to E5 to be met, and that the seed funding is dedicated for activities that have to be carried out, and the funds spent until 30th of June 2027, which is the deadline for the second call of the seed funding. So that's like the final date until when you have to do all the activities and spend the funds that have been allocated. In the case of the expansions, so for the strategies E1 to E5, this date also applies to all group members, meaning that the group which has been established in the first call and had its original deadline for carrying out all the activities and spending the funds until the 31st of October 2026. If they are going to be granted the expansion by the local selection committees. Also, their date of spending their allocated money and allocated funds is going to be moved until the 30th of June 2027. The last thing, but not least, is the reporting. That stays the same as it was in the first call. So we would like to hear about your achievements at least once a year. So there's a short one-pager you already did once, some of you. That is going to be submitted at the end of each year, and at the end of 2000, no, it's not going to be 2027, but at the end of the ground report, which is going to be somewhere after the June 2027, will be one final ground report after the seed funding period. And that's going to be like more thorough, more detailed, describing your success, your outputs, and what you have achieved during the funded period. Okay, so now the funds. The budget that has been allocated to the seed funding has been partially spent on the call number 1, and the unspent budget is in this small table that I have prepared. So if you are planning your new groups, keep in mind that these are the money that have been allocated or left allocated at the partners universities, so you can make at least a guess of the availability of funds of those universities. There is the University of Genoa and the Haga Helia University. They had left really small amounts, so I diminished it to almost zero. So there is no funds left, mostly for their members, but that doesn't mean they can't be part of your group. It means only that they won't be funded. So they can be part of your research group, but they will not receive any funding in general. There is one slight change in the case of technical university, that we have added 25,000 euros on top of what has been left from the call number 1, but TUCA is using additional internal funds to support its researchers in the second call. That's the preliminary information I got. Okay, now let's go to the application process. Application process is going to be more or less the same as in the call number 1, with slight changes. The main and the biggest change is that we are not using the Ulysseus experts database anymore, and we are using this Ulysseus Open Science repository. So how you should approach the creation of a new group. If you decide completely to create a new group and you have never done that before, usually the group leader, or the lead applicant as we call him or her, should find contacts through different channels. You can also use the Ulysseus Open Science repository to look for potential researchers to be part of your group, or you can use any kind of different database, no matter, there are no limitations. You know your networks better than we do, so find those researchers that probably would like to join you and reach out to establish some kind of connection. If they agree, you're good to go to apply for the seed funding. I have prepared a small list of the pictures of the Ulysseus Open Science repository, which can be found on the link science.ulysseus.eu, and all the members from the experts database are already part of this group. If you are a member who is not part of the, or was not part of the Ulysseus expert database before, but you are a member of the Ulysseus partner university, you are able to automatically log into these systems via your own login credentials that you are using normally at your university, and fill in the details about yourself into that experts database. If you have trouble with that, send us an email, and maybe we're gonna provide you with a simple guide, step-by-step pictures what has to be filled into that part. There's an example of my name. If you log in, you can see my arrow pointing there. There is the list of experts. where you can Google for an expert and reach out to establish a connection, or you can even browse your research and innovation group if you already had established one in the first call, and also you have to make one if you are creating a new research and innovation group inside the call number 2. Just as a side note, all the lead applicants of previous groups have been notified again and invited to update their profiles in this open science repository. So please, if you have received such an email, follow the link, check if everything is okay, try to browse it if you understand what has to be done. And if your members are not added, please invite also that members of your groups. Okay, so what is the main process, or what is the process of application for the seed funding call number 2? So the lead applicant, if has found the contacts of his potential new researchers, is going to download and fill the application form. It's going to be on the next slide. And he can ensure that the group member, he has to ensure that the group members are registered on the science repository. And if everything is done and the application form is filled in, the application form has to be submitted via the link that is provided in that application form. So that's the step number 1. After that, we as the Ulysseus Approval Committee, from the formal point of view, we are going to check whether every researcher that is stated in the application form is registered in the science repository and is meeting that condition. And if not, we are going to sort out errors and communicate them with you. Also, during this process, we're going to prepare an extended application form, which means that we are going to extract the information that you are going to provide in the open science repository with the information that you have provided from the application form, and prepare such a nice output, we call it, that extended application form. So the local selection committees who are going to make or base their decision on the document are going to be able to read as much information from the document as possible to make their decisions according to that. So that's the step number 4, when the local selection committees are going to receive these extended application forms, and they are going to assess them according to their evaluation criteria and decide about budget allocation. Roughly applies the same rule as before. If some funds are assigned, the expansion or the creation of new group is confirmed. In the case of new groups, at least 2 local selection committees have to assign some budget to your group to be accepted. After the local selection committees make their decisions, again, the ball is on our side as the Ulysseus Approval Committee, and we're going to combine the results into one report and communicate the results to you, to the lead applicants, who are going to make the final decision that yes, we are accepting it, no, we are not accepting it, or something like that. And after that, you can start to use the funds and carry out the funded activities. Now, regarding, I'll go to the timelines first. Yeah, I'll start with the timeline first. Because that's like logically connected, then I'm going to continue with how to fill in the application form. So right now the call is open, which was open on the 4th of May. And the deadline until when you should submit the application form is the 31st of May 2026, via the link that has been provided inside the application form on the Ulysseus calls webpage that you can download. Until the end of June, the final decision of the local selection committee should be made. So during this month also, you are going to receive the final decisions whether your group is funded or not, and what is the size or amount of grant you are going to receive. And we are positively looking forward to 1st July, where you should be able to utilize the funds that are going to be assigned to you in the seed funding. So there are two options, or like three possible strategies or outcomes that are possible in the call number 2. So if you are in a group that has been funded in the call number 1 and you do not wish to participate in the call number 2, so the existing R&I groups use the strategy do nothing changes in your case. So your funding period ends on the 31st of October 2026, and everything that was written in the call number 1 applies to you. So the grant report is going to be expected until the end of 2026. If you are creating a new group, so that's my third option, the last option on the slide. So then you are going to know if you have been funded or not on the 30th of June, and you can start carrying out the activities, spending the funds from the 1st of July until the end of the period, which is the 30th of June 2027. And the last option is if you are an existing group and you are going to take the way of expansion. So you're going to extend your group by new researchers, new partners, new associated partners, and you are going to be successful in doing so, then the whole funding period is going to be extended until the 30th of June 2027. So you can spend your original funds throughout this whole period, plus the fund that is going to be assigned to your new members can be utilized until the end. Okay, so I'm going to back to the application form and required data. We took the same approaches as in the call number 1. So we took a formula which is actually an Excel, a really simple one that has many locked cells. So please, when you're going to be filling in, try to fill in only the cells that are going to be allowed to fill in. If you are using Apple products, keep an eye on that, because Apple can override locked cells and stuff like that. It's a semi-automatic Excel that is going to also count and check up some overview. I can try to open. Oh no, how can I do that now? Okay. Can I open the file? No, I can't click, but it is going to always stop my presentation for a second. And I'm going to share a different document, so everyone will see the same document as I do. Okay, now instead of my presentation, you should be able to see the application form. So here at the first page, there is the basic information about what you have to do, where to send this link, where to submit. Here is a big text. Click here to submit your application. It is going to forward you to a link where you have to apply this filled-in document. So there is like a checklist for you to not just to check you have filled in everything. This is not an automatic thing. It's just only for you. So basically, there are two tabs. One is the group information and then the members. Group information, please write in everything that is requested. So there is the group name, group acronym, type of the group. It's a selectable thing, so whether it is thematic research group or not. It's left for two options, because the existing groups can be also not only about around the innovation hubs. The topic of the group, seed funding type, that means whether it is a new group or an existing one. Objectives, write the objectives, write the keywords, and if you are an existing group, try to write the current achievements and results of your group that have been already done. What are the expected outcomes and impact of your group, long-term vision, value proposition of your members, and then justify the budget. Also write in approximate budget that you would like to receive. Members, it works as before. So if you have like 10 members, for example, then 10 rows are going to be highlighted white and enabling you to fill in all the members. For the groups who are already existing and are going to be using the expansion option, please use the information you have also provided in the previous call. So you can use the description, just like update it to the current state that you are going to do. Also the members. Use the old members and add the new members. Okay, there is a new column telling you that if the member is new or the current member. So just like let us know that these members are the new members and these members are the old members. Don't forget to add the associated partners, stakeholders, or strategic partners also among this list. Okay. If you have filled in this document, save it and send it to the link that I have mentioned. Okay. That was the second part. Oh, many questions are arising. Let's try to share. I'm slow with this thing. Sorry for that. You should be able now to see only. Come on. So from the beginning. Okay, there we are. If we have received your application form, we are going to turn it into the extended application form. It's going to look like this. So we're going to extract the information about your articles, previous experience in projects, and we're going to make one comprehensive document that is going to be the base for the decision of the local selection committees. So just like to let you know how it will look like. For those of you who have participated in the first call, you already know that it is going to be happen like that. And just like to repeat it again. So do nothing strategy, quite clear. If you are going to extend your group, these are going to be the impact of your current group. So the current group budget is not going to change. The budget is going to change only for the newly added members and newly added partners and newly added researchers. Everything that changes is that the date is going to be extended until 30th of June 2027. Or the option which is originally proposed, and that if you are going to create a new group, then everything starts from new and the dates apply as they are there. So until the 31st of May, submit the application form. You are going to be receiving the decision until 30th of June, and from the 1st of July, you should be carrying out the activities, utilizing funding, deadline 30th of June 2027 for the spending, carrying out activities, and then preparing the grant report. Okay, and now's the time for the questions. I will start with the questions that are in the chat, and then I will continue with any open questions that are going to be still in the room. Okay. I will start with the first question. If you are an existing group, if you would like to get new funds, we have to create a new group. No, you can extend the group by new members or utilize the existing funds from the call number 1. So the funds are reserved for the new members, new researchers, or new partners solely of your particular group. Okay, and joining an existing group arise during registration for this webinar. What are the next steps to get enlisted as part of the group? You should be contacted, or you should get in contact with the lead applicant of that group, who is going to add you into the group and prepare the extension of the Arise group. So that means create the application form and add you as a new member and submit the application form so they can claim additional funds on your person. Can a candidate who is a PhD student join an existing group? Definitely yes. You as a PhD student, I don't know how that works at your university, but at our university, you are eligible to utilize funds like seed funding. So it shouldn't be a big problem also to do that at the other universities. So if you have any legal contract with the university enabling you to use funds directly from the university, you're good to go. So you, as a PhD student or candidate, absolutely fine. Okay, that was the last written question. So now if you have any question in the room, you can ask it now. Daniela, go on.
Yeah, thank you, Radu. Can you hear me?
Definitely. Okay.
So wrote it under the first question that you just answered, because I think it's not yet really clear for groups that want to expand. It depends on if we still have some money left, we can like extend to use it, the remaining money, and then new funding is only for new members of existing groups, right?
Come again. I didn't get it.
So just the question was for existing groups, it's when we do the extension version, then we only get new funds for new people.
Yeah.
And for old people, it depends on if we still have some remaining money from the first phase. Is it true?
Yes, it is. I will give you an example. For example, I will play with 2K, okay? So we have a group, there is a 2K member. And let's say there were like one researcher from one faculty of technical university involved in a group. The local selection committee has decided to assign 1,000 euros for that researcher from the technical university group. Now they have figured out that they need an additional expert from another faculty, or because they have that kind of laboratory that they would like to make the research with. So they added these new researchers from the new laboratory, and the local selection committee, so they will write the application form, submit it, and the local selection committee is going to decide that yes, it is an added value to the group, so we are going to confirm, and we are going to assign, let's say, another 1,000 euros for the new guy on the boat. So that 1,000 is going to be added to the original 1,000 that has been done. I have no idea how much was spent from that, was or wasn't spent, or what is the actual status. That is completely local management of that group and of that university. But that means that the group has now allocated 2,000 for 2K part, I would say. So that goes also for the MCA part, for the UCA part, and for all the other partners. Okay, Regina, I think you were the second.
Yes, hi. So I have a question that's a little bit like Daniela. So if we were, let's say we have two separate research groups at the moment, and they would like to merge. Is that a new group? Is that an extended group? Is the first question. So how do we frame that? And the second question then is, both groups have remaining funds, including funds that were dedicated to colleagues from Haaga-Helia. How can those funds be used?
Okay, so the one way to go about it is you have two groups, and from those two groups is one going to be left. And
yes, yeah.
So in the end, okay, so let's think about it as a acquisition, kind of.
A merger.
Okay, no,
yeah.
merger is something else, because two are going to stop existing and a new one is going to be created.
Mm-hmm.
That's a merger, but right now let's think about it as an acquisition.
Okay.
So one is going to be absorbed by the other one. So utilize everything that is in the first one with everything possible, and then add the members to the new group and submit the application. That's probably a way to use that. Keep in mind the rules that I have just showed on the list. And I think it's doable in that way if you understand it.
Is that the best way to go then? Also in terms of the fundings being brought forward, because the other option would be a merger, which means finding a totally new group out of the two old ones with a new name and maybe a slightly, revised agenda. What would you suggest? What's the best way to go?
In this case, I think that the local selection committees are not going to be changed personally too much from the first call. So there is that kind of risk that the local selection committee may prefer a completely new group instead of group consisting of somebody who has been already funded in the call number one. I can't be telling their opinion because I'm not the selection committee, and I see only that kind of risk.
Okay, so the best way is probably to discuss the scenario with the local selection committees and see what
that depends.
What they think. Okay. Okay, but in terms of the funding of both groups, if one group ceases to exist, is that funding then to be used by the end of October, basically, even if it goes into the new group, even if there is an acquisition?
I would see it that the first group who is going to stop existing should utilize the funds that have been allocated. If not, then it's up to the local partners what to do with the not spent funds. Okay, because I have no information about it. Okay. I've been provided with the table you have seen, so I don't know the real status of the funds.
Yeah.
So it's up to the local selection committees and up to them if they know if there is going to be something left over or not from the other groups.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Antonio has a question.
Hello, Radovan. My question is, if we use the option number 2, expanding an already existing group, for example, let's say one new member, if we introduce that new member, do we have an extension on the deadline for spending the fundings, both for the new money and also for the old non-spended money, or only for the new one?
In case the local selection committee of that particular new member is going to approve that extension, then yes, both the old money and the new money, we're going to have the same deadline. Again, repeating, in case the new member is going to be approved by the local selection committee.
Okay. And also we should ask about that for all the universities that compose our group, right? If we have members from 2 universities, we should ask to each local committee to know if we can do that, right?
Yes, if you add a researcher from 2 researchers from 2 different universities as a new members to your groups or to your partners, then 2 local selection committees are going to make their decisions about them. Actually, it is enough if one says yes.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much.
That was an indirect hint.
Okay.
We had another question from Kirsi. So Haaga-Helia and Unige cannot apply for funding. Does it mean that our group cannot continue? We have 2 members from Haaga-Helia and 2 from Unige, 2 from Unica, and 1 from Montenegro. No, it doesn't mean you can't continue. If you add a member from universities that do have some unallocated money and they will agree to that expansion, you're good to go until the 30th of June 2027.
Okay, thank you. So it basically means that, for example, Unica should apply for the funding because they are allowed to. And should it be from Unica, the person, the new researcher?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I just follow up because we're in the same group? is this still considered? So, for example, we do the extension, now it's Unica that applies, we add a Unica researcher, so we are all good for the, I don't know, extension, how much it was, but is it considered an extension if the lead changes? Because the lead was at Haga Helia before and would now be at Unica.
No, it stays.
Because it's
You
the same
are going
group,
to
we
change.
continue, but the lead is not the same.
The group stays the same. The lead change is just like changing a person. So the group stays the same as it was. Only the lead applicant is going to be changed.
Change lead, they can stay.
The lead can change. The lead can stay. You don't have to change it. It's okay, even if it's from Haga Helia. If you are an existing group with Haga Helia lead, and you are going to make an expansion, you don't have to change anyone from Haga Helia. The case is just regarding the money. So
yeah, but if Haga Helia submits and we add a new researcher at Unica, is it it's our local decision-making committee that okay. Okay.
Yes, because it's more money.
Yeah, is it so that Unica needs to make the application because we are not allowed to? Or
the lead applicant, whoever is the lead applicant, is going to submit. Okay. So then.
And you are allowed to add new members from Haga Helia.
Yes.
Yeah, they can work, but they will not be allocated.
You also can add members from Haga Helia and from UNIGE, but they are not going to receive additional funding.
Okay.
That's the only limitation.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. Yes. Okay. Thanks.
Okay, there has been another question in the chat regarding funding. The merging option, 2 old into 1 new, is the most lucrative. We can apply for the extension of the old groups to use the remaining funds. Yes, that is true. Okay, that was the answer. Oh, okay. Daniela has answered. Okay, good. Any new hands? Because I still see some hands as Regina and Antonio. Okay, so no new hands. Good. Fine. So this meeting has been recorded, and the recording of this meeting is going to be provided to you after the meeting ends, and with the presentation that I have just had. And if you have any additional questions, just follow the links that have been made public on the call page. And we're looking forward for the new applications of the seed funding research and innovation groups in the future. And we're going to communicate with you a lot, probably, if you're going to submit these application forms. So if you don't have any more questions, I think we have spent all the time that we had allocated for the meeting and so on. So thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thanks to you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Good luck, everyone. Have fun researching.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Radovan, just to let you know that that was really good. It cleared so many questions because we had been discussing the calls and the info we got for days now within our group, and yeah, still couldn't really decide what interpretation to follow, and now it's clear. Thank you so much. That was very good.
Just reach out, contact us.
Yeah.
And they're going to clarify if there is still something missing.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.